Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to The King's Speech. I debated whether I should do reactions today or not, just because of everything that's been going on in the US lately. But I feel like it really is kind of a good diversion from, everything else that's been kind of flooding the timeline. So I hope this kind of helps people get their mind off of stuff for at least a little while. But yeah, so yeah, that's also part of the reason why I didn't really do any other reaction read-throughs this weekend at all. Was because of all the protests and everything going on in Minneapolis right now, and just all the absolutely horrendous police violence that's been taking place there. Hopefully this provides you all with a little bit of escape during these times. Don't have too much to say on it right now. Post a lot of thoughts on my timeline for anyone that wants to see. If anyone is out there protesting, please be safe. I've retweeted a bunch of advice and helplines and things you can do if you're out there protesting. So please do take a look at it so you can protect yourselves properly from everything that's going on out there. I hope everyone is staying safe. If you need to, please take a break from the internet. Self-care is really important during this time. I really wish I had more to say, but Black Lives Matter. If you have any issues with me saying that or bringing that up on this in this video, please feel free to unsubscribe and fuck off. There's the door. I don't really give a shit. That will always be something I stand behind and support fully, no matter what my platform. So like I said, really hope you all are being safe out there. Without further ado, let us dive into Haikyuu chapter 395, The Lucky Ones Part 2. And you see a little news article being pulled up of Japan suffers close loss, star young cannon misfires, and you see Ushijima going in for a hit with his left hand as he gets shut down by two blockers, and you see a little caption going, Japan team of Wakitoshi Ushijima 19 failed to score on multiple attempts. After a splashy debut in the V-League last year, southpaw hitter, etc., etc. And we have, that little asshole Satori Tendo with a complete buzz cut now, looking at the news on his phone as he goes, as you see, before I can continue any further, you will probably hear a low buzzing sound in the background of this video. That is just because I have a fan running right now in the room to kind of cool it down, because it was almost 30 degrees earlier today with the heat. And even with all my windows open in my house, it's been super hot. So I kind of need the fan to kind of cool me down, because otherwise the heat would really get to me. So that's what the buzz is. I kind of tested it out. It looks like it's not too big a distraction. I can still talk and be heard pretty clearly. So apologies for the kind of minor distraction in the video, but yeah, I should have mentioned that at the top of the video, but I forgot. As we have, you see Ushijima's just sitting next to his bed, and he sees the phone buzzing as Tendo's calling him. And of course we have Chapter 305 Lucky Ones Part 2, translation by Adrian Beck, lettering by Erica Tariquez. And you have Ushijima picking it up, going, Tendo, it's been a while. And you have, yo, how's it going, Wakatoshi-kun? Did I catch you sleeping, or were you awake? Anyway, I saw the World League game, didn't go too well, huh? And you see, he's such a robot. Yeah, Ushiwaka go, no, I'm attempting to improve my arm swing, but I've yet to fully perfect it. Oh man, he gives me such strong Captain Holt vibes with this speech. You see, whoa, really? I thought you did pretty good with your old swing last year. And he goes, I did. I think in the last game, a part of me hesitated, wondering if I should have stayed with the old one. And you have Tendo going, oh ho, now this is unusual. Something got you down, Wakatoshi-kun? And you have Ushiwaka go, and there was a child. And you have a kid? Whose kid? And you see him continuing. Yesterday he told me that he thinks volleyball is boring. And you see this little mother running up with her kid in tow. As the kid comes up, goes, "Excuse me, are you Ushijima-san from the Japan World Volleyball Team? Can we get your autograph?" And he's like, "Yes." And you see him just looming over the kid, looking all scary. And you see oh. Oh my god, he's such an old man. You see him just leaning forward. He's like, "Do you like volleyball?" With his forced grin on his face as you see best attempt at communication. And the kid's like, nah, not really. It's boring. If I see a game on TV, I change the channel. And you see Ushijima's just trying not to get mad as he's taken aback by this. You see a gong. And you have a hey. He's like, ah. And you see Tendo going, "Really? You know why, right?" And he goes, "Because you aren't good enough yet. If you don't get lots and lots better, nobody's going to bother watching. I mean, when you aren't good, you just look totally lame. And nobody's interested in watching players who are just trying really hard." And you see him going, "Get good. Skill and strength are everything. You have to go out there and beat all the bigger, badder foreign teams left and right. What people want to see is a star, Wakitoshi-kun." And you see him going, "I think I can do that." Tendo's like, "Oh, can you now?" He's like, "It won't be easy, but..." And Ushiwaka goes, "Fortunately enough, it isn't impossible for me." And you see... This can't say, "I'm surprised to hear that from you." He's like, "Oh yeah, I almost forgot." So did you get to go see your dad? And you see... He's like, "Yeah, he got injured often though. He retired before he married." Oh, you see him flashing back to when he was still with Shiratori Zawa, and he goes, Tendo goes, "Wow, what was his name?" And he goes, "Takashi Utsui." Tendo's like, "Never heard of him." "What? Wait, his last name isn't Ushijima?" Yeah, Tendo doesn't stop once he gets going, does he? And he goes, "He married into my mother's family. They divorced some time ago, though." And you see Ushiwaka thinking back to his father telling him, "If you become famous, maybe he'll watch you play." And you see, "I met someone else there too." And you go, And you see 3 months earlier in Irvine, California, USA. You see a silent Ushijima just dead face, like completely blank as you have, whoa. This can't actually be happening. And you see Hajime Iwaizumi, 19, Aoba Josai grad, college sophomore, sports science. Oh boy. And Wakuto, she's like, "This is surprising." And Iwaizumi's like, "Really? You don't I'm surprised. What the hell are you doing here?" And he's thinking, "Yeah, let's not mention that it's a relief seeing someone I know here." Yeah, Ushijima going, "I plan on playing for one foreign team or another someday. My father has lived here for years, so I was invited to watch his team practice." And you have really... Iwaizumi's like, "There's a Japanese trainer here I want to intern with after I'm done with college. I've been reading his books and following his training regimen since high school." Of course. He goes, "His name's Takashi Utsui. Never ever heard of him?" And he pulls up this book called Volleyball Physical Training. "I had a lot of injuries. I don't want you to have them too." By Takashi Utsui, published by Shueisha. And you have Ushijima going, "Yes." And you have, "I've always wanted a chance to talk with him in person. When I asked, I was told he could fit me in today, so here I am." And he goes, "Takashi Utsui is my father." And you have, And you see Iwaizumi just kind of doing his shock face. He goes, "Wait, what? What's your last name?" And he goes, "Ushijima's my mother's name." And Iwaizumi's like, "Really?" He's like, "Really?" And you see him just kind of staring like shock-faced as you see his father coming up. And you see Ushijima introducing him to Iwaizumi. And you have, so Haikyuu off in Argentina now. He's like, I heard the rumors. It's like, yeah, he's giving his best shot, I guess. And you see, I hear you're not doing too bad so far either. And Ushijima's like, I guess. And you have, the world team sure aren't pushovers, are they? It won't be as easy to totally overpower them like you did in high school. He's like, true. And he goes, but you know, it would really suck if the Ushiwaka went down as just a not too bad player. As someone who lost to you way too many times, I don't want to see that. And he goes, you're always kind of this doom and wha-bam player back in high school. But I think you could be more of a kaboom kind of guy if you tried hard enough. And he's like, ah. And you have Iwaizumi continuing, on the highest levels, players who are 6'3" and 6'4" are considered short. I never managed to crack 6 feet, so I was always trying this and that to make up for it. He goes, here, check this out. It's a clip of a player whose moves I've gotten some inspiration from. And you see him just putting on this video on his phone. You have Iwaizumi going, wait a second, what am I saying? You've already made it on the world team. You have Ushijima going, it's fine. Coach and I are already trying this and that ourselves. Any inspiration is welcome. Besides, I enjoy this sort of thing. And you see him smiling happily as he's showing him the video and just kind of going through it with them. And you have, so yeah, thanks a ton for today. With your help, I was able to relax and chat with Utsui-san. I'm so lucky you were there. And Ushijima's like, sure, I enjoyed today too. And he goes, and I am very lucky as well. Thank you, Iwaizumi. Until next time. And you see Iwaizumi's kind of surprised as he goes, sure thing. He's like, see you. He's like, oh, wait, one more thing. He's like, let me take a picture with you so I can show off to Oikawa. Oh boy, and we go back to the match. We see Sokolov over the middle, but Sakusa digs. It's like, yeah, good dig. And we see Sakusa doing his little low dig from the last chapter. As you see, Tomas puts it, Romero digs it. And you see Atsumu setting it up as he just slams the ball in, and Romero just barely gets it. And you have Hoshiumi going, Hoshiumi-san, as he sets the ball and goes, Ushiwaka. And you have Ushijima coming in from the back right. And you have, to be truly strong, one must continually discard one's strength. Oh boy. And you see, as he's jumping up, he kind of rotates his arm, I think. So I think he's doing like a speed rotation as he just slams the ball. Oh boy, and you see it just barely, Sakusa just barely trying to dig it and just lands, shoots off to the side with so much force. And you see everyone just watching in surprise, like, oh, yeah, wow, I heard that from here. Sakusa was in the correct spot, but the ball was just way too fast. And you see, wow, still got a ways to go, Kiyomi. And you see, with that impressively powerful spike, the Adlers bring the score to 24-23. Will the perennial champions finish their comeback? Excuse me. And you have Sugawara going, sheesh, that take my arms clean off. And he goes, it's not just their blockers. Now he's literally blown away the 3 guys who are probably the Black Jackal's best defenders. And he points to Sokolov, Sakusa, and Hinata. And you have Asahi going, it isn't just that. It isn't just that he's gotten physically stronger either. His arm swing is different from back in high school. Back then, he would wait until he was in the air before pulling his hitting arm into the load position, and then whipping it forward in a powerful wham. Think of the motion like drawing a bow and shooting an arrow. That's pretty orthodox really as far as techniques go. But that last hit of his was different. Like a catapult. I'm betting, sorry, going on a tangent here, but I'm betting he's going to say that his arm was more like a catapult, which kind of swings with more force from where it is. And you see, yes, a bow and arrow swing is like you basically jump up, you have your arm drawn back like you're drawing back a bow, and you snap it forward to kind of hit as with the releasing the arrow. And you see he was, oh no, he's going with the sword. I like my catapult example, but apparently no, going with the sword. Yeah, it was almost like he was drawing a circle in the air, making one continuous motion straight through to the hit. He wasn't just swinging his arm around either. It was more like following the motion of his entire torso. At no point does his arm ever stop, so he can transfer all the momentum of his jump and swing onto the ball. So I'm going to try and see if I can describe this as accurately as I can. Yeah, because before, the main difference is the pose, like he had his arms off to either side, almost like a pair, like he had this arm forward, he's getting this arm ready to prime. And this time when he's jumping up, he's kind of rotating this arm, so he brings the circular motion of that back into his other arm when he's going in for the spike. Obviously he's doing it with his left arm, not his right. I'm just doing all the other motions because it's easier for me to showcase it that way. I'll come back to that actually at the end because I want to point to something similar I've done that kind of speaks to the technique there, but yeah, it's interesting what he's doing. So you see, yeah, swing onto the ball. So you see represented more like him swinging a sword with both hands and kind of swinging it in front of him. And you have Daiichi going, that isn't the only problem because he doesn't have a lock and load pause in there. It makes it really hard to anticipate what kind of shot he's going to use. And you see Hinata getting all excited. He's like, powerful hits with a pause, powerful hits without a pause. And you have their advantages and disadvantages to both types of swings. Ushiwaka's hits were plenty strong enough with his previous form, but I guess that wasn't enough. He decided to destroy his best weapon and then rebuild it. That's pretty incredible. And you see Washijo just watching proudly as his boy's doing this. And you see... Oh, man. You see Washijo's back with the greatest strength, forever incomplete. But still, an extra helping of oomph on top of an already hard-to-predict shot? How is that legal? Daiichi's like, that's not all. Don't forget that it comes with that nasty southpaw spin, too. And you see his proud father watching as you have Takashi Utsui, 51, Irvine Polar Bears training coach. And you see current California time is 2:20 a.m. And you have, wow, Wakatoshi, look at you, you've gotten huge. It's like, you've gotten so good too. I watch all of your games, all of them. And you see him sitting down for lunch or dinner with his dad. He's like, that's the third time he said that. And he goes, I got good because I was lucky. Even if I wasn't lucky, I think I still would have worked just as hard. But, and you see him thinking back to, oh God, this thing's gonna make me fucking cry right now. Jeez, Furudate, you cannot do this to me, man. You cannot hit me in the emotions like this. And you see his father back to when he was still living with both his parents. When Wakatoshi was using his left arm. And his father says, I think if we could let him keep something that's slightly different from others, that's his own, that will surely be a great boon to him in the future. And you have him going, thank you for protecting my gift, Dad. As you see, next chapter is June 7th. Man, I just love this series so much. Oh. How do I even put this into words? Man, I don't even know where to start. I guess the first thing to kind of really acknowledge with this chapter in this series is kind of Ushijima's growth from being the person that, thought there was only one kind of strength, one way to be powerful, and that everything else surrounding that was inferior, like every other kind of strength was inferior compared to it. Because, like, it's kind of like, I think the idea of, like, if a weapon works, if something works, don't break, kind of that idea of if something works, if this powerful hit works, it gets you the points, lets you score, why do you really need anything else? Why do you need to do anything else? And I like how, he kind of took that to heart after seeing Hinata, fight on his own terms and take down perennial favorite of Shiratorizawa and go on to, the quarterfinals in nationals. And then, him kind of taking the losses he did with the Japan, when he was playing with the Japan national team, and kind of using that as a learning experience to think about how we can get better while staying true, to what makes him unique, what represents, his abilities, his thing. And I really love that Furudate's kind of been playing with that a lot in the last few chapters, where you have all these different characters, all these different characters who have these different quirks, abilities, skills, all that, who are finding ways to, prove themselves on the court outside the conventional ideas of really, I think, what you expect a volleyball player to be, how you expect them to play, things like that. And kind of showcasing that, being different isn't necessarily a bad thing, and that you can always use it to your advantage. And seeing that with Ushijima, who's just like, maybe being a southpaw in, the world stage isn't as big a deal as being one in Japan, where it's probably a little bit more unique, playing on the teams and stuff that he did. And him kind of leaning into that, being like, what, even if it isn't something that's as different as that is, I'm going to make it something that's my own, make it differentiate myself from everyone else. It's just, but differentiate himself, but still stay true to, his kind of play style and the kind of person he is. And just seeing him thanking his father at the end, where he's just like, thank you for, believing in me and kind of helping me to develop the skills so I could get to this point where I am now. I mean, it really is a callback to what I was saying in the last chapter of, I really appreciate the fact that Furudate kind of broke out of the formula and did the unexpected by, instead of going to the second year of high school and kind of continuing the journey from there, he kind of leapt ahead in time past that and instead decided to kind of showcase, what life outside of that looks like. Because I think a lot of times it is very easy to kind of get wrapped up in, high school, university, all those kinds of things, and think of those as your best years or your prime years, and think about, all the glory and the good moments and the fun and things you had there. And kind of think that once you get, become an adult and you get to realize that those things will somehow disappear, or you'll never reach those kinds of highs again. And I appreciate the Furudate just kind of saying, like, screw that noise. It's one part of your life, and it might be a really important part of your life that really affects you in a lot of ways, impacts you in a lot of ways. It helps you build bonds that will last you a lifetime. But that doesn't mean, that it's the end of the road, or that there isn't something, different or better coming for you later on, as long as you strive for it. And Ushijima, I think, also noting how lucky he is in the idea of, he was able to come to the U.S., he was able to meet Iwaizumi, he was able to get in touch with his father again. The fact that he was able to play with the teams he played with, the fact he was able to meet the people he was able to meet, the fact that he was born a southpaw, which I think also speaks to the other side of that, where I think a lot of left-handed people were considered unlucky to be born that way. And him kind of saying, I'm lucky I was born, a little bit different, because I was able to make that into my strength. Just, Haikyuu, really damn wholesome every single week. I feel like this kind of really is signaling the series is going to end. I think with the speculation that this is going to be 5 sets, but now I'm not really sure if Furudate-san is going to end it on the 3 sets or not, or like how Furudate-san is going to go with the story after we get the backstory for everyone else that's left. But excited to see it. Can't wait for more. Haikyuu continues to blow me away every single week. Can't wait to see what happens next chapter. With that said, I'll probably cut off the video here. Just a few closing thoughts. Please do, boost and support Black voices during this time right now with all the protests going on. Please donate to whichever sources you can. I'll try to find, because I know there was a thread going around of all the different places and groups you can support and donate to help them out during this time. So I'll try to find that and retweet it on my main timeline. So if you can, please donate. If you can't, please at least retweet and boost. It would really mean a lot. And yeah, like I said, please do stay safe. And till next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.